Here we have Isle of Night with that designer coming to us from Red Raven Games. There's that upside down, there's that with nothing, there's that with the title. Look at the bottom for the title, flip to the back. A mysterious island only appears at night. Light your lantern to discover its secrets. 2 to 5 players, 10 minutes, 8 and up. Let's see what is inside of this. Alright, so let's get that box open. We have us on an instruction booklet. There's 2 to 5 players. You've heard tales of a mysterious island filled with treasures and wonders, but it only appears at night. With your loyal hound at your side, you row at dusk towards the island, eager to uncover its secrets and confront its dangers. So the components are a ton of cards. There's your setup. As you go through, you have your turns, an example of the setup. And next up you have your card types, the card quantities, scorecards, magic symbols, dragons and serpents, conch horns. Special part with islands 2 and 3 in relation to the conch horns, scrolls, chests, lanterns, cursed rings. As you can tell, this is probably one of the most complicated ones in the game. You have your magic staff, location abilities with Amethyst Bay, because that's a specific one that maybe needs to be clarified. Next up, you have cards upon cards upon cards. So, you know me, I will get these laid out and show them to you. Alright, let's start off with showing you these island cards. There's a 1, 2, and 3, and the opposite is a 4, a 5, and a 6, and these are all part of setup on how you're going to set up the scorecards, how they're going to score, and who gets the most points for magic symbols. So the cards you're going to be laying out there are these scorecards here that you'll see have these different symbols on them. So you're going to be looking for either sets of 3 or sets of 2, or in the instance of these 2 cards with the diamonds, which you do not use in your first game, is you're looking for 1 of each or 1 of each. Or then you have that, and the opposite side is a lock symbol because you can lock them in place throughout the game. Let's come up here to some of the other cards you'll grab. So you have your treasure chest worth 2 victory points each. These are all the same. If you look at the cards, you'll see a number right there, and that tells you how many of these are in the deck. So same thing with the scrolls, all the same. You see the magic symbol. These are all the same, these are all the same, these are all the same, and these are all the same. Then your sea serpent and your dragon cards are all the same. Your spears, which you need to get the sea serpents, some of them have magic symbols, some of them do not. Same thing with the swords, some do and some do not. You then get into your insect bug critters. Some cards have 1 and 2 magic symbols. Some have just a critter, no magic symbol. Some have 2 critters. Same thing with your butterflies and your scarabs. Over here you have your locations. They all have different powers that go into effect when you grab them. So here are those locations. So again, here are all those cards. Now I'll be right back and show you how it plays. We have set up for a game of Isle of Night. You're going to shuffle all of these cards, put them in a big deck. You're going to choose 1 of the 6 island cards. You are going to then shuffle the scorecards. I've taken out the ones that they suggest not playing with for your first game. They have a diamond on them. You're going to shuffle them up and lay them out in the pattern shown on the island card. Again, you have various different ones, like this one has the island card in the middle, and all different setups and amount of cards. Once you do that, you are ready to begin. Players are going to take turns in a clockwise manner until the game end is triggered. On your turn, what you are going to do is you're going to draw 3 cards from the deck, and you're going to put them out in the central display. You can group them with like ones as you see fit. Then you are going to choose a type of card. So I can choose treasure chest and take this one treasure chest to my tableau, or I can choose butterflies, take both of these cards and put them in front of me. I will do that. That is my turn. goes on to the next player. Next player is going to do the same thing. They're going to grab 3 cards and put them out in the center display, and then they are going to choose a type of card. Some cards have special abilities, which I'll go over here in a minute, but you're going to keep doing this until the number of lanterns taken by players, is equal to 3 plus the player count. And that is written right on here. When lanterns claims equals 3 plus number of players, game ends, and it will end immediately. After the game ends, you're going to total up your points based on the island layout. You're going to look at the top one. So in this instance, for every 2 swords you have, you are going to score 5 points. Next row is 4 points, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. Then whoever has the most magic symbols is going to get 5 points. You're going to get points from various other things, such as a treasure chest gives you 2 points. Some of the island locations may give you points. And the lanterns are each worth 1 point. This one is discard 5 unique cards to claim points worth plus 10 victory points. This may not be claimed by a ring. So, total all that up. High score wins. Let me go over a couple more things with these islands. So as I said, they have different ones. For this instance, this one has a 0 in the middle. Island 6 has you start with 8 locations below this line. And then as you get conches, which lets you move locations around, you're going to put them on top of the line and then lock them. Then some of them do give you negative points. I believe, it's on the back of this one. This one has a negative victory point. So there is that variable setup, and as I said, you have these extra scorecards. Let's get into what some of the various different cards do. So you have the spears and the sea serpents. Every spear that you claim, you're allowed to grab a sea serpent. That is the only way you can get the sea serpents. They can only be claimed when you claim spears. If you have 2 spears and there's 1 sea serpent, you take both spears and 1 sea serpent. If there's 1 spear and 2 sea serpents, you would take 1 and 1. Same thing with swords and dragons. Works the same way. For every sword, you can claim a dragon. Lanterns, as I said, are the game end trigger and are worth 1 victory point. Conch. When you play every conch you claim, you can swap 2 adjacent cards in here. So for instance, I could swap that like so. Then you have your scrolls. When you claim those, every one you claim, you can lock or unlock a scorecard, and that is by flipping it over to its locked side or flipping it off. An instance could be if you have both of these cards locked and you get a conch, you could then skip over the locked cards and you could swap those 2 cards if you so chose. Next up, you have the 3 different bug types. Those you'll just put in front of you, and they're part of the scoring. Some of them have magic symbols, some of them have more than 1 on the card. Treasure chests are just straight victory points. The magic wand is when you claim that, you can discard any card you own to reuse its when claimed effect. So if I had the conch, I claimed this, I would discard the conch, and then I'd be able to use its when claimed, so I could swap 2 adjacent cards. The final card is the more complicated one. This is a cursed ring. No player may ever have any more than 3 of the cursed rings. What's going to happen is at the beginning of your turn, you're going to grab the 3 cards, lay them out in the central display. You are then going to discard 1 of your cards in front of you. For every ring you have, you're then going to claim any 1 card from the middle, even if they are of different types. After that, you are then going to do your normal claim of 1 type. At the end of the game, there were negative points based on how many you have. So again, that is the different card types. Those are the different islands and the different scoring cards in Isle of Night from Red Raven Games. Hope you enjoyed. Now get out there and explore that island.